Good morning, computer science principles, activity 142, objects and methods. I'm going straight into Schoology like my video told you to do. I'm going to my daily activities. If you're watching this video, hopefully you've clicked on your link to get there. There's a link to the document that when I click on that link, it opens up in a new page. You can open that up in Drive. Maybe. If you want to open it that way, you can zoom in on the activity, whatever you need to do to see it. How you decide to do that is up to you. You can open it up in Schoology also. There's choices. The assignment page is an assignment in Schoology. So when you click on it, you got to open up the assignment. It takes you to a Google Doc. You're going to have multiple screens going on here. And there really isn't any choice. If you have a second device to pull up the activity on this link here, that would really make your life a lot easier. Sometimes you have to copy some code in, so you either got to type it or you got to be on the same device so you can copy and paste it in. It's kind of up to you. So this video is mostly about getting the Replit signed into and over to your account. So I've logged into Replit. That's one of the first things the procedures and the activity tells you to do. And I have clicked on the Replit link for 142, and it's going to open up. And then I'm going to just go up here where it says J. Doe, J. Smith, and I'm just going to go up here and act like I'm going to edit it. And it's going to give me a message. You cannot edit it. It's read only. We want to make sure that happens, because now when I go to my three little bars in the upper left-hand corner, okay, when I click on that, I go to my REPLs, and I'll have that student file, and this is now mine. So now I can open it, and now I can edit it. So this activity is going to work with images. You'll notice over to the right we have a couple image files. It's currently saving on my account. My internet must be really slow. Everybody in the neighborhood's probably using it. So the first thing I could do is I could come up here and I could change this to say Mr. Martin. Obviously you'd put your name. The rest of the things in here, pretty much from line 4, from about 4 down to line 14, you don't change a whole lot here. Sometimes you're going to change this file name. You'll notice over here we have a woman.png. We also have a cat. 1-a PNG. So if you look at those, they are images. Okay, and these are the images you're going to use. So we got to call those once in a while. So you'll see those in there. But down at the bottom, you'll be doing some changes, and they're going to suggest some of those changes. You got to look very closely at the code that they suggest and make those changes in order to get things to work. But to really make things work, we've got to set up our devices here. So I'm looking at in the procedures number 2. So you're going to open up an environment that allows us to install some things that we need. So I'm going to move my picture of me up here to the top, and then I'm going to hit Control Shift S, and I should down here in the corner get something that looks like this. And yours might say runner at. I don't know if yours going to say runner. I haven't seen this from a student's perspectives, yours perspective, so it might be a little different. And then it says to do a couple things. The first thing it says is after you get that to come up, you're going to type in PIP3. Should use P's, not PIP3. And then this is right off the sheet. Install Python. Just want to make sure you spell everything correctly. And I'm going to hit enter. And it should do a bunch of stuff. You just sit back and wait until you get to see that runner thing again. I'm going to make this window a little bit bigger. Okay, now you can see that I have that there again. So now it says type in IPython. I'm going to hit enter there, and then it's going to give me there. And then you'll see in one, that's the IPython session. So you'll do a couple things here in the activity. So that's the main thing, is to get that set up, because that'll allow us to change the figures over on the pictures over on the right, or on the left, excuse me. So it's going to allow some of those things to occur when you do that. One thing I just noticed that I do not have in this file yet, I need to fix that, is I need to have a folder over here called results. I'm going to add it. By the time you get to it, yours should already be there. So you will not need to add it like I just did. I had forgotten to put that in. But that's the start. That's 1, 2 problem, or the 1 and 2. 3 we skip because you're not working with a partner. 4 and 5, 4, 5, and 6 are talking about the hierarchy and naming things. When you get over to number 6, it's going to ask you to do a couple things. So I'm just going to walk through what they're asking you to do. And we're going to walk through the directory that Replit is using. So the first thing I'm going to do, so this is the top of page 3, I believe. I'm going to go down here on line 1. I'm going to type PWD like it did. My output will look different. It might look the same as what I have here. Then I'm going to type CD ... And it gave me an error. CD, sorry, no, ... So home, /home, /runner. And then it says LS. And these are things, it's just trying to show you where things are located. And then the last thing it's going to ask me to do is I'm typing CD, but I'm doing not, I believe it's /home, /runner. No, it didn't give me an error. Maybe I don't need to do anything there. So let's see what happens when I run. So nothing changed, right? In the line 7, nothing changed the way that I thought it would. But when I come back over here and change the code right in line 7, I should see something happen. And these instructions are in your activity. So the main thing is I want to make sure that the image shows up that's supposed to show up. All right. So it's still installing things up there. I don't think it's going to do anything. So you got to be patient. And I wasn't being patient, so I'm going to run it again. And we'll see if in my results folder, if I get something. Oh, look at that. I did. I got exactly what I was supposed to get. So the directions should follow. And as you work through there, lots of questions to answer. Just do your best at answering them. Run the code. Try to get things to work. There are times that I'm asking you to take a snippet of your code. That is just you taking a little picture of your code, not the whole entire code, just the part that you changed. A couple lines ahead and a couple lines after, or copy and paste. Work also. You don't have to take snippets necessarily. You'll notice on the the picture here, you can, or when you have the picture up, it says click here to download. You can download and you can insert your images also, which is kind of cool because then you can show me that you're able to get exactly what you're supposed to get. That's one of the things that you'll see in the activity. They have, what the results should be. And again, the main thing is when you have questions, send them to me. Don't wait until 5 minutes before to do this activity. This activity is probably a good hour and a half. We would have taken 2 class periods for sure to do this. And so keep that in mind that, you're not going to be able to wait till the last minute and submit this at midnight, right before midnight, and hope you get it done. You're going to have to take some time throughout the day, hopefully, or in the evening, whenever you can find that time, and you're going to have to work on things for this class. Just like last term, I'm looking at completion. Again, I want you to be able to get things to work and be able to see that, when you get to work, it's kind of cool to see that it works. I experienced that myself over the past week because the directions were different. I had to learn some things along the way. I had to switch gears about halfway through and start looking at things a little bit closer in a different path. And so just keep that in mind as you're working through those issues. I see what I did over here in line when I was typing things earlier. I put CS where I believe the direction said put CD. Let's take a quick look. I think it was CD /home // I always forget. Oh. Runner. There we go. That did work. So I did want to put that CD there. So anyway, so as your questions come up on activity 142, please let me know. Do not skip step 1 and 2, especially number 2. If you're using a Mac, you don't use the control key, use the command key, Shift S. To introduce that interactive Python session. But you got to have that thing running in order for things to get saved correctly. So if you got questions, again, I'll be from 8 to 8:50 each day. I'll be up and I'll have my conference section on, and this is what conferences look like. You can't make a conference, but you can join one. And you would click on that button and you'd see if I had one up here. And I'll create one tomorrow morning and I'll run it for 50 minutes. And then if you have questions, you can ask. And those would be live, voice or video or both. Video alone would be kind of tough. We'll have to see. I'm not sure if I can share my screen in conferences. So if it doesn't work that way, we'll go to Google Meets. Google Meets has a Android and an iPhone app, so that would be a really good way to have 2 devices going at once. I'll have 2 computers up if we're doing something like that, but I can share my screen in Google Meet, which is kind of cool. So you can see what's on my screen and I can guide you through some things. So again, you got to ask questions. That one's on you. I cannot tell you in your brain to ask me questions other than to encourage you to do so when you have them. So good luck on the activity. I think there's some cool things that go on here. It's kind of the back end of photo editing, more or less. So you're not looking at actually editing photos from some fancy app that somebody wrote. You're looking at the back end of that app situation or that piece of computer software that does editing. So we'll do some neat things with these activities this week. So good luck and have fun.